Everybody, more than once on this channel, I've talked about Donald Trump's mental health, but let's take a look at the people that voted for him, shall we? And you know what? This is actually going to be fair and reasonable. I'm going to go on a limb and suggest that there's now more than quite a few million Americans of voting age who voted for Trump that are way less entranced by his myth than they were even a few weeks ago. Only a small number are ready to confront their cognitive dissonance, but a great many more are probably starting to have nervous thoughts. They don't see Trump's full-on pathology just yet, how often he lies or is motivated only by himself, but they are noticing that they've been lied to, and that's a great first step. And they've begun to surmise that he's neither invincible, not what he says he is, and more importantly, he's actually not one of them. And that's a great second step. It's worth recognizing that Trump supporters are not all racists, and they're not all of low intelligence. Many are people who found that they were susceptible to the type of movement that Donald Trump represented, and it wasn't in a malign way. They got entranced by the movement and the belonging of this movement, and they got sucked in. And of course, then they were pelted profusely and repeatedly with validation of the worldview that they had invested so much time in, and they were consumed by a media that focused on that validation. I mean, just look at people around you probably who watch Fox News. They're essentially getting high. I don't guarantee you this is what is happening. They wanted to do one thing, and that was to demonize the left. This gave them the opportunity to have a dopamine rush from owning the left, and it kept them emotional and less reliant on reasoned thought, and they were less able, therefore, to actually be critical of themselves or even their leader. Now, any movement of this group matters. Once there's a crack, there can be a fissure, and it's only just beginning to crack, and cognitive dissonance is a real son of a bitch. The Epstein saga and its contradiction to their baked-in conspiracy may have forged that crack, but it's opened more eyes to people that he is actually flailing, his constant changing of stories. Many are not falling for the Maxwell ruse, and even though the Epstein light came through that crack, they are seeing something else, his ailing physical health. And then his weak reach to cast new blame on anywhere he could, for example, the lie about jobs. Trump's defiance now seems contrived to more of his followers and panicky to some. He's overstepping because he has to. He's a narcissist, and his grandiosity must be front and center. If his panicky defiance stays palpable, and I think it will, and his health woes increase, and the number of times he makes mistakes, which will also increase, more people will recognize it and see just an ordinary man behind the curtain, and they should be therefore ready to question his competence and even his mental acuity. And that is the third step. It's necessary before these people begin to unwind their worldview.